how we can gain back our freedom from the globalists by Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts. Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts was born in 1950 and is an American investment banker and former public official who served as managing director of Dillon Read and Company, and during the presidency of George H.W. Bush as United States Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for Housing. She has widely written and commented on the subject of public spending and has alleged several large-scale instances of government fraud in the United States. So I was listening to her for about an hour or two last night, and I condensed down her message into 5 minutes, which I will read for you now quickly because you must know it. This is something you must know, and she gives very good advice. The globalists have become more technologically advanced than the rest of the human race, so they have separated from the rest of us legally, socially, and financially. They can now completely automate every company which they own with software, robotics, and artificial intelligence. And they can then dismiss all the people from those companies because they now do not need people to work for them anymore. They are now putting up a satellite system in an orbital platform in the skies over our heads. Using artificial intelligence, telecommunications, and digital technology, they now have the ability to track and monitor both people and robots on a continual basis, and they will decide who or which is the most efficient and at what jobs are they most efficient at. Constitutions revolve around the belief that human beings are sovereign individuals whose freedom comes from divine authority. Under the current technocracy, a human being is now called a transhuman and is regarded as a resource similar to an oil deposit or a labor resource and is to be used as such. Under the current technocracy, human beings who are now known as transhumans are to be regarded simply as livestock. Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts does not know who the globalists are because they like to be anonymous and they conduct their business through world leaders. She said that they can be identified, however, by finding out who has the most powerful space-based weapons and who controls the shipping lanes throughout the world, because it's them. Whoever controls the shipping lanes throughout the world, they are the globalists who wish to enslave us. The people of China are under continual surveillance throughout their entire lives, and their individual financial power is based on their behavior. They have no personal freedom. The people of China are slaves. We ourselves have been building and financing the worldwide technological enslavement system on behalf of the globalists, so therefore we have the power to put a stop to it. Here are the solutions which must be put in place according to Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts. Number 1, don't pay taxes. Number 2, bring transparency into what is happening and discuss where we wish to go on a worldwide scale instead of the current technocracy. Number 3, don't allow any process to be centralized anymore. Decentralize all processes. Number 4, stop banking with banks. Use a credit union or some similar system instead. Number 5, find another way to make money other than what you do now if your job involves helping to set up an enslavement system for the whole human race for all eternity, such as the police and military are doing now, and civil servants, and psychiatrists. Psychiatrists are wrongly diagnosing those who are linked to by electronic brain link to a computerized control system as being mentally ill. So psychiatrists are part of the problem. They're part of the problem, not part of the solution. And tell them that. Hinder the military from building information warp speed. At least don't have them do it. I don't know what information warp speed is. I really don't. But they're building it now, and we're supposed to stop them from building it because it's an enslavement system for us. Don't allow anyone to inject nanoparticles into your body for the purposes of connecting you to the cloud. I'm already connected to the cloud. It's hell on earth. Today alone, they were sending me pornographic images, pornographic videos into my brain by sending data to my visual cortex. And I couldn't stop them, and I don't deserve this because I'm single and I'm celibate. Don't allow Big Pharma to make injections which are poisoning children to death. Don't allow big agriculture to make a GMO food which is poisoning people. Don't have governments to institute corrupt health crisis regulations which makes the billionaires richer. Read a document called The State of Our Currencies by Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts, and it's from the Solari report, SOLARI. That's Dr. Catherine Austin Fitz's website, solari.com or something, SOLARI. I haven't read that yet, The State of Our Currencies by Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts, but she strongly recommends that we all read it because it'll help us understand how we're being enslaved and how to get out of it. Yeah, I found most, if not all, of the following information on an online link called dailymotion.com, and I will put the link below this video. And as I said already, Dr. Catherine Austin Fitts was born in 1950, and she's an American investment banker and former public official who served as managing director of Dillon Read and Company. And during the presidency of George H.W. Bush as United States Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development for Housing. And she has written a lot on how we ought to gain back our freedom from the globalists. And she talks for hours and hours. I try and convince it down to a tiny little 5-minute segments and post it out. So if you haven't time to listen to her, but please do listen to her. She's excellent. Thank you very much for listening to me. My name is Greta Fahy from Claremorris, Ireland.